Hi, I'm Guy Eastman, your host, and this is Eastmans Hunting TV. We're going on one of everybody's favorites, a DIY public land elk hunt. We're going to tag along with EBJ's own Dan Pickar as he chases bull elk here in our home state of western Wyoming, out there on the public lands deep in the backcountry.
Well, we're packing up. We're in Wyoming. General, elk, deer, lots of people around. So we're not even gonna try to hunt out here, even though heard some bugling last night by the truck. So we're gonna go about 2.5 miles in, just packing gear up and making sure we're not forgetting anything. Tracks in the trail, and they're even pointing that way. We must be going in the right direction. Well, this is our first night in here, so we're gonna head down the ridge, a mile or two, and do some glassing, see what we can find tonight this way, and depending on what we find tonight this way, we'll determine whether we go that way or go that way in the morning. So, a little exploratory mission. Let's go see what we can find.
Luckily, Dan also has a black bear tag valid in this area. Looks like he might just get a chance to notch it.
All I did was just kept his attention. We ran into him, and he was like looking, and I just whistled at him, kind of act like an elk, and it's a boar, so he's curious. Well, here's what the camera looks like when the ND filters are off. It's not after shooting light, what it looked like during the shot. But we're gonna go find this bear. I heard him death moaning down here, so he should be right down in the timber. Look at that. Completely soaked. That's that nightfall. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. He went 40 yards. Dude, that's a pretty good head on him. That's a pretty good head. Teeth are all worn down. She must be old as the hills. I'll be darned. Teeth are falling out. Bear back straps for dinner? No. Just joking. I was coming up over the hill here and I threw up the binos, and you didn't have to look twice. This giant backlit velvet, $2. I've never seen anything like it. Oh my gosh, his back forks are absolutely world class. He's absolutely giant. I haven't seen a buck this big in 5 years. He's got as big as back forks as you'll see anywhere. Conservatively, He's got to be 195. He's 30 inches. He has it all. We're just gonna watch him go to bed and try to figure out a plan for tonight on him. There's another solid buck with him, but these are biggest deers you'll ever see anywhere on a general tag. Well, we changed camps probably like a quarter mile from this buck. He went to bed with at least 2 other bucks. So we're in position. We're gonna take it slow, kind of just tiptoe tonight. We're just gonna play the wind and go slow and see what we can come up with. That's all we can do. This buck that we saw yesterday, we have him located, so I'm gonna make a move. We don't really have anything to lose at this point. We're leaving tomorrow, so gonna give it a try. Well, we're just kind of packing up, and mule deer camp, what turned into mule deer camp was supposed to be elk camp, is over. Storm blowing in, there's lots of people around now. Today's Saturday, so we're getting out of here and we're gonna go find some elk. On to greener pastures, we hope. Well, we're in Wyoming. Elk hunting. Never been to the spot before. We're just gonna kind of cruise around the next couple days and just cover as much country as we can and do some bugling and try to find some bulls that want to play. I think today's like the 8th of September, so it's still a little early, but we're way up in the high country. It was frosty last night, plenty cold, and we're gonna hike into a burn and see what we can find. So gearing up and off we go. About 2 miles in, haven't heard a bugle, seen a couple tracks. We're gonna hike up over the top of the ridge here and bugle down the other side and kind of spend the morning on that side and see what we can find. So pretty quiet so far. Looks like great country, but the elk just aren't here, so just gotta keep moving. Well, we came up to this knob this morning. New country, just trying to find elk. We found a couple 6 points, but it's just nice to find a couple active bulls. So we're gonna spend the day and work up to that saddle and see if we can't get in on some of that action tonight. I'm gonna call downhill, facing down. Did a little louder because of the wind. Got some good calls. Now we're gonna move up, get up on top of the ridge. You just never know where you're gonna find a bull. He was he's pretty small, little raghorn. Had an okay shot, but I just saw a bunch of elk sign right here. And so I was like, man, we got a good wind. I'm gonna blow in the call a little bit. He came right into 15 yards.
Dan decides to stick with his gut and stays in the drainage, hoping to encounter another bull.
This thing has a gargantuan body. He's got some mass, some rubbing. We hunted for 8 or 9 days in early September. Man, I just really appreciate my camera guys. They stayed patient with me and pounded the hills with me this year. All 3 of them, Joe, Blake, and Tim. Okay guys, this is the exit. This is what I shot him with. Cut on contact gravedigger, 1.5 inch cut by 1 inch. Now if you'll look at that shot, you'll see it was far back, and I was like, ugh, I didn't like it. It was a little far back. Granted, I love those 1/4 inch away shots because it drives that arrow right up into the goodies, and that's exactly what happened. I popped the diaphragm. Here's the last rib right here. So you got diaphragm going to the last rib. I was just thinking about fair chase, and this season wasn't fair at all. We got our butts whipped, but persistence is deadly, and we came out victors on this thing. Unbelievable. Remember, fair chase is the only way to hunt and take trophy big game. We'll see you right here next week on Eastmans Hunting TV.